Dance and soca, dance and soca. Today, not in a festive mood. This school board, this educational system is getting on my nerves, and I'm telling you, it is giving me great concern. I'm getting concerned. Eh? I'm really seeing it when now my thought is open. There's too much things are clear to me. And if you could see what I see, let me start before the time go. Child Protective Service was developed to support the rigid educational system. Yes, CPS, Child Protective Service, is just a backup system to make sure the educational system have full access to all our children. See, you sometimes regret when you call CPS. If you call to inform them of your concern about your innocent child being abused and misused under the educational system and rules, CPS will ask you to call the school board and make you feel like you're out of control for accusing their precious system. See, if the table turn and the school have little concern, as soon as they call CPS, they will skip all the necessary steps and even summon your arrest. See, the educational system is messing with our thinking by crowding our station with invalid informations, only to control and destroy our nation. Just yesterday, we were not allowed to read. Do you agree? Now today, what changed? Why are we being forced to enroll in something we was told were not good enough for us? And we were not good enough for? If we only attempt not to send our children, then prepare to face CPS. I hope they ain't vexed, and your child will certainly leave the nest, and you will build up stress. Child Protective Service was developed to support the rigid educational system. You believe you are mother and father? You make me burst out in laughter. You don't own your children. Those gifts from heaven are automatically state property from you reach the registry. Your title change from mother and father to parents. And this makes sense because all we do is parent. We pay for the compulsory education. We pay to give shelter and whatever. If you want so-called custody, you have to spend money. I am not a parent. I am a mother who feel pain and spill blood to give birth to my son. That's why I'm not afraid to fight for my autonomy. I did not give voluntarily to nobody. Just watch me. You see me? We the invisible minority. We the visible minority. Like to fall for fake pity. Those agents of the rule of the dark hate our spark. They will do anything to keep us in the dark. Don't take no chance with their charm. All it mean is harm. So please stand firm. Child Protective Service was developed to support the rigid educational system. Those without spark can't feel nothing in their wicked heart. The only mission is to keep us under submission while the rule of the dark plan and they carry out the dirty work. These schools were built since slavery began. Please think. Remember, everything was put in place for a different race. Those rules and regulations were never changed, neither reformed to meet our needs and concern. When will we learn? Our children are forced to endure all the resentment, mental abuse, and more. Still, no one will take note. All our complaints are ignored. There is nothing around the corner. Everything is under one man-made order. I won't even stress further. See my Shaq one? He's a young Rasta man. Yes, You see how they treat these youths who are walking into the real truth? They are always attacking their roots. A Rasta youth have strong roots. They cannot be removed. A Rasta youth is full of light. So the agent of dark can't find their spark. So they plan their attack to keep them stagnant. My son never stand a chance. From the first day he went into the educational system, every day complains. Now they accuse him of criminal activities. Then they say they are sorry. Wasn't him. What they think? He is now traumatized and scared and fully afraid to go to school, and I am too. Please, if you have past bad experience with CPS and the educational system, let's join hands and feet and let them face defeat. Yes, let's bring them to an end. Child Protective Service was developed to support the rigid educational system. I'm tired. I have found something here that I feel is very good to support what I'm saying. I'm gonna play it.
Albert Einstein once said, everybody's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have modern day schooling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots, do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come. No more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement, and if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it. Proceed. Exhibit A. Here's a modern-day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today, and here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today, and here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed.
Thank you.
Claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A. A letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat. I get it. Back then, times were different. We all have a past. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robot zombies. The world has progressed. And now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. See, every scientist will tell you that no two brains are the same. And every parent with 2 or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie-cutter frames or snapback hats, giving them this one-size-fits-all crap.
What's your language?
Sorry, Your Honor, but if a doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results will be tragic. So many people would get sick, yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens, this educational malpractice, where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees.
Objection. Overruled. I want to hear this.
It's a shame. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they're underpaid. No wonder so many students are short-changed. Let's be honest. Teachers should earn just as much as doctors, because a doctor can do heart surgery and save the life of a kid. But a great teacher can reach the heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are created by policymakers, most of which have never taught a day in their life. Just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling in a multiple choice question will determine success. That's outlandish. In fact, these tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned, but don't take my word for it. Take Frederick J. Kelly, the man who invented standardized testing, who said, and I quote, "These tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, cars, and Facebook pages, then it is our duty to do the same for education, to upgrade and change and do away with school spirit, because that's useless. Unless we're working to bring the spirit out of each and every student, that should be our task. No more Common Core. Instead, let's reach the core of every heart in every class. Sure, math is important, but no more than art or dance. Let's give every gift an equal chance. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days, teachers make a decent wage, homework is non-existent, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. But here's the kicker, boys and girls. Their educational system outperforms every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are succeeding rapidly. Schools like Montessori, programs like Khan Academy, there is no single solution. But let's get moving, because while students may be 20% of our population, they are 100% of our future. So let's attend to their dreams, and there's no telling what we can achieve. This is a world in which I believe, a world where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I'll rest my case.
I rest my case too. Listen to my brother, listen to me. Let me do something with this rigid educational system. We could do it. Wake up, open your thought eye, ignite your light. We've been doing too much for us. Brothers and sisters, don't make me have to call you Thomas and Blight. Do something to show us that you can do better. I love you. Stay blessed. This is your Royal Highness saying, help us, help our children. Help me to spread this video, share it, comment, because I'm going to fight with this educational system and they cannot disrespect my son. He's a prince. He is a young Rasta man, a Nazarite. Do you understand? Don't mess with a Nazarite. Couldn't mess with Elijah, can't mess with Shaquan either.